studios of TLC Talk Radio. You are listening to DT on Our Minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Lord have mercy. And we are here to give you exactly what's on our minds, some interesting stories we'll talk about today. But as usual, we want to remind you to follow us on social media at DT on Our Minds, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All the same handle. And check us out on tlctalkradio.com. I'm excited, episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving on up in the world.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
Getting more comfortable, doing our own thing.
Right.
It's working well.
Absolutely. One of the first stories we want to chat about is urban farming. What is that? It's exactly what it is. Pick up a thesaurus. It's exactly what I said it is. Farming in an urban area. And full disclosure, the wonderful lady we're going to speak with is a friend of mine. So maybe I'm biased, but it's DT on Our Minds, not CNN.
Exactly.
So this is what's on my mind. And Aja Yasir and I went to high school together. And she's been on other shows that I've hosted. She's a friend of the station. And I noticed that she began posting. Well, first of all, she confused me real good. So we used to be neighbors. She lived right here in a nearby suburb. And then suddenly I saw her posting about Gary. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait. What? What just happened? And so I'm like, wait, you moved to Gary? She's like, yeah, obviously to do, some things she wanted to do with her family in that area. And so one of the things I saw her posting was about, the food that she plants. And we kind of rekindled our relationship post high school because of the wonderful things she makes. Yes, Aja, I am still using that carrot soap because it has lasted me forever. It's really, really good.
Really?
Yeah, it keeps my skin clear if I stay off the chocolate. There's my issue. And so my fault. And, we just began to talk more. And then I noticed that, she was doing her own farming. And I'm like, oh, because I sit on a bunch of land that I do nothing with.
I have restarted farming, so
okay.
I'm going to need some tips because, yeah.
Well, this is your girl. Right here. We want to welcome Aja to DT on Our Minds via cell phone. Welcome.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here.
So I know I got some.
I'm real excited to be. I'm like doubly excited to be.
I know you have a lot on your mind. She's our guest host today, I guess. I know I kind of got smart with the listeners and I said, urban farming is exactly what it is. But what is urban farming?
It's what you said. It's basically growing in an urban setting. We bought a house in Gary, Indiana, and I'm from Chicago. My husband's from Homewood, Illinois. And we bought a house in Gary because the cost of living is cheaper in Gary, and we wanted to, kind of do something new. So we bought a historic home in the Horace Mann area of Gary, and we converted the front side and back into growing space. So we grow about 200 varieties of medicinal plants, fruit, and vegetables in our growing space. We also grow mushrooms, and we are working on being as self-sufficient as possible.
Wow.
I love it. I love
it too.
Yeah. So, again, I talked about, all the natural things that you do, and obviously over 200 variety. Look, I'm thinking about what's in my freezer right now, and I'm like, I ain't got 30 vegetables in there. She growing 200. My daddy would love it over there where you are. But while that sounds really wonderful, and it is, you have been met with some resistance. Talk to us about that.
Oh my goodness, it's been crazy. The city of Gary when I say the city of Gary, I want to be specific. So I'm going to specifically say the Department of Environmental Affairs, Green Urbanism, and it's their job to support farms and gardens and air quality and soil quality. They gave us a citation for our wood chips. They're saying that wood chips are debris, which is absolutely ridiculous.
False.
I'm not. Yes, y'all call me at a different time. I want to be real mad, but I'm not going to be real mad. But they said that our wood chips are debris, and we're actually going to trial for it. We were supposed to start our trial on April 22nd, which just so happens to be Earth Day.
Right.
Our attorney, right? But our attorney requested. Yeah, it's a mess. Our attorney requested a continuance, so we are going to trial on June 24th.
So the premise of this, I'm going to call it a standoff because it's DT on our minds, of this standoff is that your wood chips are considered debris.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I teach science, so that's just patently false. But I didn't have to teach science.
Yeah, I don't teach science, and I got that. I got that.
Right. So, I mean, so you got the citation. You went to court. What happened? What has been said to you by these officials who you mentioned it is their job to ensure that, things like
that,
right,
what you're doing.
Things like urban farming can thrive. Why? What is their reasoning?
Well, when I went to court on March 25th, the person who gave us the citation, who works with the department, stated that wood chips attract bugs and fungi, and that creates a nuisance for the neighborhood. And you're a science teacher, Miss Tasha. So, yeah, they're saying that creates a nuisance for the neighborhood. But the issue is that I'm not the only urban farmer in the area. I'm not the only urban farmer in the city. And everybody else, I don't know if everybody else, but a lot of other people use wood chips. The city of Gary uses wood chips on their
I was going to say, you can find wood chips in a lot of public places.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been to Gary, but I promise you can find some wood chips. Are they going storming through Menards and Home Depot demanding that they don't sell wood chips? You see what I'm saying? You see the lunacy behind all of that?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, somebody called me and told me to drive over near the airport, and she was like, look over there. And she told me that there are wood chips in the city of Gary that have been sitting there for 6 years. And I drove over there, and there are mounds and mounds and mounds of wood chips that somebody is actually collecting for the city. So I don't know. The more I talk about it, the more ridiculous it becomes.
Yeah.
The more
Wait,
ridiculous it sounds.
when you saw the mounds, did you see like the bugs having a picnic? Clearly, I'm being facetious. Like, did you see them over there with their lawn chairs out? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But the reason I use wood chips is because the wood chips help to cut down on water usage. We don't have to water our garden hardly ever. So it cuts down on water usage. We don't have to weed. And they're a great ground cover because in the city of Gary, the city is actually built on sand, so you have to use organic material to build up the soil. And we chose wood chips, we use leaves, we use seaweed, but they have an issue with wood chips.
I'm sorry.
But they're wood chips,
exactly.
which is naturally occurring.
They're made out of trees, and trees have bugs, so we have to get rid of trees now. I don't
I don't know.
Like, the more we try to wrap our mind around it, the more I feel like my IQ is lowering. Like, who? What?
Exactly. It's just absolutely insane. It's just ridiculous.
What kind of
that's where we are.
So what kind of feedback have you gotten from your neighbors, from community members, from people who are not even in the community?
Oh, this has been national news, which is crazy to me. I never thought it would reach this far. We've been in the Houston Chronicle. We were in the Chicago Tribune, put out an article about it, and then after that, the Associated Press picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it became national news in Atlanta. People have contacted me from Baltimore, just everywhere. All the show of support, which I really, really appreciate. Our attorney said that this is going to set precedent.
Yeah.
And this is basically why we're fighting it, because this sets precedent for other urban farmers who use wood chips. So, I mean,
because it's wood.
I didn't know this story was going to be this big, but it is.
As it is as big as it is idiotic.
Yes. In a city that has 7,000 vacant properties, that is full of blight, that is impoverished. I heard a statistic from somebody who said that I don't know if he was saying the whole city of Gary. Now, this is somebody who's knowledgeable. I should have asked for clarification. But he said in his area, the average income is $13,500 a year.
Wow.
And with something like that, it seems that the city would be behind people, individuals going and growing their own food. Tasha, you mentioned that you thought I still lived in the south suburbs. Well, I still grocery shop in the south suburbs.
Because
I have to drive to Calumet City to grocery shop.
Wow.
Because you're in a food desert.
To grocery shop.
Wow.
Exactly. There's no food here.
Yeah.
And the food that's here is not up to my standards.
It's not Whole Foods or Trader Joe's.
It's not even half food, sounds like.
It's not even Aldi.
It's not food.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's insane.
There's a quote from you on rollingout.com, and it says, "There's an opportunity here to make Gary a model for self-sufficiency and food abundance controlled by residents of Gary," which is essentially what you just said. Do you have any, and obviously it would be speculation, but do you have any thought why this wouldn't be pushed?
Oh, I have some thoughts on why it wouldn't be pushed.
Maybe you shouldn't say before your trial.
Maybe I should say it after the trial.
Maybe
But
we could
let's
say it.
This is a threat.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a threat. It's a threat to what is going on in the city when it comes to agriculture, and when it comes to grants, and when it comes to the USDA grants. The city received $500,000 in grant money for urban farming.
Wait. Like, I want you to know that I'm doing the Scooby-Doo head turn. You know how Shaggy tells him, we should go look, and he's like, why? Why are we going in there? So, can you give me that figure again?
Yes, the city has received, and this is in the Chicago Tribune as well.
Okay.
They received grants equaling $500,000 for urban farming in the city of Gary.
And what are they doing with it?
Suing you.
Apparently.
Exactly. So we'll have to talk about what they're doing with it after the trial.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's absolutely nothing.
Oh, it's something.
That has to do with farming.
Right. Nothing that has to do with farming. That's incredible. So what would be the ideal outcome? Obviously, we want you to be successful in this trial, but what would the ultimate outcome look like for you?
You know, I do want to be left alone, but I also want other farmers, other gardeners, other people who are about self-sufficiency to be left alone and be left to be able to thrive for themselves. And I would like, I don't know, I guess my ultimate vision would be for the city to become an agricultural beacon. But in order for that to happen, the government has to step back and let the citizens do their work. So that's the ultimate thing.
Yeah.
And I also want to push regenerative agriculture, which means that regenerative agriculture basically means that we use methods that help to regenerate soil,
Yes.
air quality, that really helps to regenerate the earth. And I want to be able to push that as well because it's important. We're living in some trying times when it comes to the earth right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Aja, we really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule as an urban farmer. We love your shirt that says the Notorious FIG Farmer in Gary. I'm going to play some Biggie after the show just as an ode to you. But we really appreciate you coming on to tell your story. Keep fighting. Keep doing what it is that you do. And I'm going to need some more carrot soap, so I'll be calling you.
And I need some more information.
Yeah, Dana needs all of your tips.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, you too.
All right. So $500,000 in grants, but we suing her because she wants to grow her own food. She has to. Gary is close, but that's too far to drive back to Illinois.
And Illinois taxes food, and Indiana doesn't. So,
yeah, I can't wait to hear what happens.
although there is a Whole Foods in Cherville,
there is,
yes,
yeah,
But-
I like that one.
I do too. But it is whole paycheck. I'm just saying.
Touche. Yeah, that's just that's amazing.
Yeah,
You're
but that's, you know what? That's not the only issue most urban farmers have, or just regular farmers like me. Not really a farmer, but because there are some crazy ordinances out there. Like, you can't store your own rainwater in some places.
Really?
Like, you can't capture your own rainwater. Well, as we see in your front yard.
My neighbors
Try to
get
stop me.
They get the bad end of the flood. Bless the Lord that it doesn't
Yeah.
hit me. But literally, they need to capture that rainwater.
Yeah, and do something with it.
Yeah, because they can't literally drive down the street. So I came home the other day. So we've had days of rain here in Illinois. And so what has happened is that obviously it's coming too fast and the earth can't absorb it. So I came home and there was a Beamer in front of my house that wasn't mine. And I was like, oh, the neighbor can't. They literally can't drive through.
Right.
Mail stops, delivery stops. Now I get my stuff, or my neighbors will bring their trash down to me and, they'll say, can I put my trash can here, so that it can be picked up? Absolutely.
Right.
Because they can't drive through that. It's
Exactly.
deep and it's just, that's not what you
That's
want.
not good for your car.
Right.
Like, at all.
We're not down with wet bottles.
Don't do it.
Right. This is a poor decision.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just a lot to consider. And you would think that this is my home. This is my homestead. This is where I am. I pay the taxes here. This is my yard.
I can do whatever the heck I want with it as long as I'm not burning down my neighbor's house.
Right. I'm not growing crack. You
Right.
can't grow crack. I'm
No,
being
you
funny.
can't.
But the point is, I'm not doing anything that would upset the natural order of things. And let's just go with this idiotic theory that wood chips attract insects. Okay, fine. So let's go with that. Like, you should see my face.
Well, you can
Insects.
if you watch it on the video.
Right. Insects in and of themselves are bad because why? No, we need them.
Yeah.
I'm not down with roaches or nothing. But
Right. But
we need
for the ecosystem to exist, we have to have insects. Hello.
We're actually teaching ecosystems this unit.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. That's just incredible.
Yeah. It's yeah.
So that's how you know that, because it makes no sense to anybody. That's how you know something else is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously she's not free to speak on it.
Right.
And
But
my
we'll
friend
speak on it.
Yeah, my friend is pretty outspoken. So when this blows over,
She gonna talk
watch out.
a lot.
I'm just gonna move and give her this microphone. And just be sitting over here like, yeah, well, I
You could
just
do a
said,
whole hour.
yeah, this is all you. That's incredible to me. But
Yeah, it's crazy. There are some really crazy laws too in this country about farming on your own land.
And see, because I'm, all my flowers are fake.
I almost
wouldn't
brought you some, but then I was like,
know.
should probably kill him.
I can do like 2, and they need to be close to the water hose. Cause
Yeah, that's why I didn't bring it over.
now my mother, that's her thing. She is a
Okay.
green thumb, and my grandfather was a green thumb.
I mean, I have a greenhouse, and then I
that's so
also
nice.
have raised garden beds that we did a couple of years ago. So we're getting there.
Sure.
But we haven't got the right mix of
Yeah.
whatever to make things grow good.
When I'm an
I mean, they
entrepreneur,
grow.
yeah. When I'm an entrepreneur, I'll have a little more time, and it is my intent to grow.
Sure you will.
Yeah, because I want to be, grading papers. So
So you think you will have enough
I know
time.
I'm being smart, but it'll be work. But then, prayerfully, I'm where I need to be, and I can be like, can y'all go outside and take care of the tomatoes and pick the green ones so I can fry them? Like, that's my life. That's what I want.
Okay.
But my dad has been on me to grow. He's like, so that land you're
y'all-
sitting on.
Even just your patio, you could start with like a container garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to shoot none of the animals.
You don't have to. You just... Okay, there's several things you can do.
I know. I see like the coyote urine and crazy stuff in the
Well,
store.
you don't necessarily need that.
Yeah.
There are actually like herbs.
Okay,
like,
that's better.
Peppermint or mint.
That's my favorite.
Mint, a lot of things don't like. So if you put mint around everything, grow mint around it, you'll be good.
My patio in the back
Yeah.
used to be a flower bed.
Uh-huh.
I was like, wrap that up. I'm not going to be at that.
And sunflowers are useful for that as well, like marigolds. I know some stuff.
Okay.
I'm just not.
You and mama, y'all come over here. I ain't got to be home. Y'all have a good
I'm
time.
not up on, like at your friend's level.
Okay. Got it.
I'm not there yet.
Got it.
But I believe that if I could make my whole yard a garden, I'd do it.
That's dope.
But I have dogs, and they tear stuff up.
They probably like to play in the dirt and stuff.
That's why my container gardens are over somewhere else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So next story you wanted to talk about.
What did I want to? Oh, oh yes. We're going to talk about a little thing called blackface and why we white people continue to do it. I can't figure it out.
You either, huh?
No, not at all. So there was an incident at Homewood Flossmoor this past week. It wasn't at the high school, but it was involving high school students wearing their high school sweatshirts, so we knew where they were from.
Duh.
And there was a video of them on social media. I don't know which one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they were in, I think there were 4 boys. They were in blackface wearing their HF sweatshirts. And one of them said, I didn't know it was wrong.
You didn't?
I'm going to have to smack your parents. Because, come on.
Stop the violence.
Every year at Halloween,
Megyn Kelly.
we need to remind white people the color of my skin to stop it. Every year.
My shirt. Nah.
Exactly. My shirt. Yours or mine. It's an inside joke. But I don't get it.
It's as idiotic as this last story we talked about, because nobody in 2019 is unaware.
And if they are, like, what are you living under?
Not in this age of
Apparently,
social
you don't
media.
have social media.
Yeah, that's bull. That's absolute bull. And here's how you know they knew it was wrong. They didn't wear it to school.
Right.
You know how that would have went. Mm-hmm. We've been telling a very different story.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I don't advocate violence, but I'm telling you that's how it's going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know, they'd have had a well-whooped ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, you know, we're not trying to go that route either.
Right.
But where on earth is this okay?
I don't know. Like, where is it funny, or where is it, like, what is your motivation?
Yeah. Like, where are you sitting around and going, I know, let's put on blackface and drive around and call people out of their names.
What?
Right.
Not one of the 4 said, that sounds dumb. Not one of them? Not one.
Right. that pack mentality, I guess. Excuse me. According to the Daily Southtown, the primary complaint aired by the students and parents was what seemed to be a lack of transparency on the school's part. Now, it didn't happen in the school, as you mentioned, but students of color said, "Now let us have done something." That's this embarrassing. We would have been expelled. Additionally, the students were allowed to leave early the next day, like they were in class, and then they were allowed to leave early due to quote unquote gang threats.
Gangs.
Yeah.
At HF.
I mean, I don't know much about HF, but
I know a lot about HF. My mom makes costumes for the theater.
Okay.
At HF. I know an HF theater teacher, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But the point is...
I mean, HF is in the south suburbs, it is like the Northfield of the south suburbs. Northfield's got lots of money.
Okay.
They got lots of programs. They got lots of. I mean, lots. Let me put it to you this way. Their swim team has a massage therapist.
Can I be on the swim team?
Right?
I can't swim. Also, I'm not in high school.
So they got money.
Right.
So I don't understand. I don't.
So in response, nearly 2,800, according to the Daily Southtown, marched across the school's front lawn and down Kedzie and toward Flossmoor Road before turning around and staging on the sidewalk outside of CVS Pharmacy. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fun. I appreciate their show of solidarity.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it because it was raining all too.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So these children understand the implications behind an action like that. Right. And they were unified in their show of protest. Mm-hmm. I keep going back to, I can't wrap my mind around that. I'm still doing the Scooby-Doo face. Like, you want me to chase the ghost?
I mean,
no.
You're in Illinois. It's not like you're in some kind of segregated still state. Right. You know what I mean? We're outside of Chicago. It's not like we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, but not really. Because we're urban still.
I mean, but you can go back to Megyn Kelly losing her job because she made the comment. I couldn't believe what I heard her say when she said, well, I don't see anything wrong with it for Halloween. I'm paraphrasing. But I was like, did she say that out loud on the TV? Let me walk off and make my coffee because I knew that was going south. Right. And then she didn't have a job anymore. Right. Now, they paid her. Mm-hmm. She got the rest of her contract, but Al Roker,
I think your contract should have stipulations in it that you don't
morality
do
clause,
stupid stuff,
right? That you don't embarrass us. I chuckled because I wondered right at that moment where Tamron Hall was. I was like, so y'all didn't renew Tamron,
but this is okay. Okay.
Congrats to Tamron on her new son. Yay, she is a mommy. Congrats to her.
Yay.
But yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
But as a school, how do you discipline something that didn't happen at your school? Even though they were representing your school by wearing the sweatshirt.
And that's where you have to go back to. You have to go back to what is the student code of conduct? Does the student code of conduct require that you behave a certain way at all times? Or, obviously like when you go on a trip or something, or if you're representing a sports team, those rules apply. Right. But if, your gear, you know what I mean? That's something that has to be thought about. And obviously I don't have access to their student code of conduct. I imagine it's on the internet somewhere.
Probably.
But that can become tricky. But I kind of will ride with the students who said, these have been kids of color. That would have turned out very differently. Right. And unfortunately, history has proven them right. True. So, yeah.
So that's let's just send love to HF.
Absolutely.
To get their stuff together.
No blackface. Anybody.
No blackface. Never.
No.
Never a good idea. Not even if you're black. Not good idea.
Yeah. Oh, especially if you're black. Listen, if I catch you, black people, trying to do blackface for some unknown. Listen, I'm gonna send my mama to you. That's not who you want. That's not who you want. You don't want none of that. That's not what you want. Yeah, I think it's a good point right here for post positive because I'm annoyed.
Let us go. Well,
like everything is crazy.
do we have a moment for Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick. It happened in Florida.
This is Dana's favorite segment.
So
we love you, Florida. You're great for vacations and stuff.
another thing white people need to stop doing, and I can say this because I'm white. Actually, black people can say this too because white people are just crazy sometimes.
Girl.
Leave animals alone. This is my message to you. Because Florida man tries to kiss cottonmouth snake and is hospitalized after he's bitten.
Okay, cottonmouth is bad. Bad,
Yeah,
bad,
they're
bad.
poisonous.
Yes, bad.
So what had happened was this bastion of intelligence.
Bastion. Get your thesaurus, everybody.
He decided his girlfriend found this snake in her yard and was like, it's a snake. And he was like, oh, but I love snakes. So he had this snake for a couple of days in a pillowcase. You know how like when you capture snakes, you usually throw them in pillowcases, then you get rid of them.
So he kept
it for 3 days. Well, since he got caught because the sucker bit him, he's also facing some kind of jail time because he didn't have a permit for a poisonous snake.
Do they give permits for poisonous
Yes.
snake? You know what? Damn it, I can't even.
And again, white people, stop with the animals
So,
that want to eat you.
girlfriend says, "There's a snake. Please come get him." All right, fine. Nobody called animal control. Okay. So he was able to catch the snake. Yay. He was in love with the snake? Boo.
Apparently, because he kept kissing it.
He
and
kept
then-
kissing. Oh, this is a repeated action.
Yes, this was not the first time. So it was like, I don't know, a couple of days after he had been repeatedly kissing this
Meanwhile,
stupid
you're
snake.
sexually harassing the snake.
Right.
He's pissed. You deserved all of that.
And then, yeah.
Face palm.
Florida man. All right. Now we're going to move on to post positive.
I know that I look just like my dad right now. Where he's just like, what?
So I have been posting positive on our Facebook page.
Facebook.
So look at our Facebook. I don't know what I'm doing now.
Also, I shared the story about Aja and her husband. Cute picture, by the way.
It is a cute picture. What am I doing? I'm going through my Facebook. Hold on one second.
That's okay.
Because I only have 800 pages. Blah, blah, blah. So today,
It's about the gymnast.
it is about the gymnast. Okay, so
She's so
Here we
sweet.
are. So Chelsea was born with Down syndrome,
Nice.
and no one thought that she would do or accomplish much. Well-
Everybody I know with Down syndrome does well.
Yeah, but 20 years ago,
Sure.
people weren't really
No
to
faith.
the mindset
Sure.
that anyone, depending on your level of your diagnosis,
Sure.
because there are many levels. I mean, some people are not verbal and that kind of stuff. So, okay, maybe. But 20 years ago, she was born. Well, I guess she's more than 20. Whatever. But when she was like 2, when she started walking, because
Okay.
she didn't have a lot of muscle
Sure.
strength and whatnot. She entered the Special Olympics when she was younger and fell in love with gymnastics. And she never, they never thought she'd go really far with it. But she started competing with Special Olympics, and then she started competing with regular, I don't want to say regular, that sounds wrong,
Yeah, I understand what you mean, though.
with non-Special Olympics. I
Right.
guess we'll use that.
Outside of Special Olympics.
Yes. And she would always come in last, but she would develop so much more
Sure.
by competing with them than competing against other Special Olympics at that time. She had won 3 gold medals in Special Olympics for gymnastics.
Nice.
And she had done a modeling thing for somebody. I can't remember. You need to watch this. It's very long.
I'll watch it before I go to bed because I feel like I'm going to cry myself to sleep.
Oh, it's so great. And so she wanted to be a model then. So her family, got her, went to different modeling agencies, and they're like, well, but we don't have a place for her.
Sure.
But that all changed. And she has done print work, and she's also done runway. She's also been in New York Fashion Week.
I love it. See?
Yeah.
Now that's a great way.
It makes me feel really lazy in my life.
What?
Because,
seriously,
it's like I have no drive, and this woman has so much drive and has had it for so long. Since she was a little kid, and I'm lazy. I'm just lazy.
You're not lazy. Your paths are different. That's all that means. But that's a great way to end the show.
No, I'm lazy.
Okay, you know what? Moving on. Don't forget to like DT on Our Minds on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Check us out on TLCTalkRadio.com. And Dana, you're nuts.
Yes, I am.
This has been DT on Our Minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
We shall catch you next week. Bye.